Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and follow no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Gentlemen, we have Hellraiser. No, not that one. From 2022. What'd you guys think?
So let me just say, this movie kind of disappointed me in the sense that for the first hour, they build this really good atmosphere. The lead actress lady, she is extremely unlikable in the sense of like Joaquin
True.
Phoenix from Gladiator. You go, oh man, I hate her, but she's doing a good job. They build to, in my opinion, nothing, which is fucking heartbreaking. Like, you are so on board, and then to me the payoff was so lacking that I just kind of was like, fuck me.
I think I'm going to be we've talked about it a little bit before the cast. I think I'm going to be the righteous defender of this film based on what I heard beforehand. I'm just going to put it out here, and this might be controversial. Not only do I think this is better than the 1987 Hellraiser, I think it's not even close. I think this is clearly across the board a superior film.
Ooh, that is a hot take. I'll just be the middleman, because I thought it was just okay. I mean, there's some stuff that I think could have been a lot better, but overall, I had a pretty good time. It's just like fine. But then again, I don't have like an outright attachment to the original or whatever you would call it.
I've seen the original Hellraiser multiple times, but it had been a couple of years, and I was like, you know what? I need a more fresh comparison. So I watched the 1987 Hellraiser last night, and man, that is not as good of a movie as I remember. I still give it probably like a 6 out of 10, but it is unquestionable in my mind that the new one, the 2022 version, which it's not a remake, this is a full reboot, but it is far superior in my opinion.
Nope, I'm running away from you, Chandler. You're crazy.
Oh no, he's a psychopath. Well, instead of talking about the old one, let's talk about this one. So how do we start? We have this prologue or whatever that kind of gives you a taste of what's about to come.
Talking about what takes place in like Belgrade, Serbia.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of feels like scene cut from Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, you're talking about the mansion section. Like, the very first part is basically just an excuse to get the box into the hands of whoever it's going to go through in this movie.
We got a bunch of people sitting around in La Mansion and debauchery, maybe?
Yeah.
And you go, okay, cool. And we get our introduction to the main villain, this character named Voight. And not John Voight, but a Voight. He's like, oh yeah, come here and fiddle with my box, baby boy. And he's like, I like touching boxes.
Like, I'm going to pick on the movie a little bit, and I know the movie has to be, but like, this kid or whatever that they lure into this room to finally yoink him, I mean, sure, he's there for some debaucherous reason. He's there to have some rich people fun, winky face. But like, he's so goddamn gullible. I was just like, I'm not surprised by any of this.
Okay, so this is like a giant mansion in the Berkshires, and this is definitely just like a ultra wealthy person's sex party. This baby-faced boy, I mean, he just runs into this cougar, the cougar that we saw in the Serbian scene a little bit earlier. It's like, hey, you want to go meet the owner of this house? Go upstairs. He's probably got something for you, and he sure does.
And it's the box. And the young gentleman, he fiddles with it, it pokes him, he passes out, and we get to see as Voight raises his hands to the sky as his 13 ghosts house begins to do its 13 ghosts thing. And he's like, Abdui Amdu Dambala, give me the power, I beg of you.
That's not this one, not yet.
It does kind of turn into like a end of the first Blade kind of thing, which is like a special room for this special moment. But like after he gets all the people that he needs, you know, he gets like a audience with God in quotation.
Honestly, this opening scene, this isn't really an opening scene, but this is the opening kill. This is where you really figure out what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he cuts himself, you get some shit going down, you get the chains coming out from wherever they're coming out from. It just turns into this like awful torture scene, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like 4 chains burst through his chest or whatever. It's like, hey, that's Dr. Octagonopus. Good job, movie.
I had it compared to Anima from the Final Fantasy games. If y'all don't know what that is, just skip that.
Okay. But yeah, like in the best way, like it's like, oh yeah, this is a hard horror movie. All right, he's got some balls over there. Hard cut 6 years to just somebody fucking.
It's such an awful scene too. Like I hated it. I fucking hated it. Like they're like banging it out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, flip over," and she's like, "Yeah, you like this?" He's like, "Yeah, I like that." And you're like, "Stop! Like I don't want to fucking see this. Like this movie is debaucherous, but like I don't want to see that."
See, like I didn't want to talk about like the original that much, but I thought that's where this was going. It's like given the way this woman kind of operates and just overall looks, maybe she's having a hard time. Maybe she has like some addictions, and I thought like this whole sex scene was like, oh, this is like a window into her like taking that escalation till she she runs into the Cenobites, that kind of thing.
Nope, that's just her and her boyfriend.
Yeah, that would have been a lot more deep than what this movie does.
Oh no, he was getting pretty deep.
Well, yeah, because like everybody else in the apartment just like give him the stink face afterwards. I'm like, listen, if this is a place where everybody lives, I feel like this has to be more accepted than it was in the scene. It was like entirely too awkward for some reason.
I don't think they knew anyone else was home at the time, is why she was being so vocal, I think. But I think we've all been in that situation, right?
Just be like, you know what, buddies? High five. There you go. Congratulations. Got some pineapple juice in the fridge. Help yourself.
Were you guys in there doing the Fight Club sex scene, just not blurry?
You want to go finish her off?
Oh, I think you got nothing to worry about. Wogga, wogga, wogga.
Nice. But this is also like an opportunity for the movie to introduce all like the ancillary characters, which we find out are going to be more important than they kind of felt in the first half of the movie, but that's okay.
Yeah, the supporting cast is actually really good here, and this is what actually hooked me into the movie, was this relationship between the brother and the sister, because when they're on screen together, they have this really cool sibling chemistry. It escalates to heights of just, these guys are really family. And then they also have low moments a little bit later where they're just like, fuck you, I hate you. But that's also just like such amazing depictions of real family. And it hurts because you get to see all this honestly really good acting. And I'm not trying to poop on anything later down the line. It's just, we're at the crescendo already. To me, it never peaks past the brother, sister, and their relationship.
Well, I'll give the movie that. Like, everything is actually quite good. You mentioned the relationship between the brother and sister. Loved it. Even the relationship between her brother and his boyfriend or fiance or whatever. It just seemed natural. It didn't seem like any person was like a caricature or anything like that.
Yeah, the other character that we need to mention, just, an auxiliary character, it's the brother's boyfriend's roommate. Do I have that right?
They were roommates?
They were roommates. And I guess she's just a girl that's there for a little while. She'll come back at some point.
She's literally the and one.
Mm-hmm. All right, so first time seeing this girl, I thought, that girl looks like Maybe from Arrested Development. Honestly thought it was her. For a split second, I thought that was her. And then I'm like, no, that's not her, but I do love titties. My third thought, hold on, there's another one. My third thought was, no, wait, this girl actually looks like Edward Furlong.
Oh, no. Like, pre or post heroin?
Both.
Oh, no.
Porque no los dos.
I was thinking at least, because there's some, like, Stranger Things vibes occasionally in the movie. Yeah. I was like, well, she kind of looks like Dustin.
Oh, no.
Wife constantly said that. She's like, I can't even look at this girl because I just see the little boy from Stranger Things.
Yeah, it was a little rough. I'm just like, man, he's having a hard time. I hope his girlfriend from Wyoming or whatever is, helping him out.
But no, she does look like Edward Furlong, but kind of hot in like a trashy, junky kind of way, if that makes any sense.
You'd get scabies or something. Like, there's like a weird STD you're picking up.
It's okay. There's a vaccine for that. Is there? I don't know. It's fine.
She definitely looks a little rough, and she plays it off pretty well. I guess the movie does allude to her kind of having like a really hard pill problem or whatever, but it's not really anything the movie takes too far. And another thing, I guess, was a missed opportunity. Like, she could have been like a burnout, a druggie, and that could have been what escalates in the movie. I didn't know which sin that was going to be exploited, and it kind of bugged me.
Yes, and again, this is where I think the movie failed, because they're giving you this ammo, and you're like, okay, it's going to be the drug addiction. We're really going to dive into that, or it's going to be maybe a sex addiction because they're banging it out all the time. And then you get like this moment of, oh, the boyfriend's also in a recovery program, and you go, oh, okay, he'll be the new Frank or something like that. And they just really don't dive into that, and I think it's a missed opportunity because they build so much there. to make you go, all right, I'm intrigued, I want to know, and poop.
Poop.
So we do find out that the boyfriend she met in like a 12-step program, and I don't know that he really has like a steady job. She's like a junkie waitress.
Yeah.
They both just want better, so he's like, you know what? I work down at the docks sometimes, and there's this shipping container that's owned by a billionaire dude, and there's something in it. You want to go steal it?
I love how his idea of a date to make her feel better is like, hey babe, you just want to go practice our B&E skills? You know, it's just right down at the dock where I work.
We don't even need to like break in. I have the passcode already.
What blew my mind, though, is while they're discussing things, we get to see the boyfriend's apartment and we get to see the brother's apartment. Both apartments are fucking amazing. Both apartments are referred to as shit by the occupants. And I'm just thinking, wait, what?
Yeah, this is I can only assume this is Boston, and I would only assume for Boston, those are pretty expensive apartments. Especially the boyfriend's. He's living by himself, and that is spacious.
Dude's house is fucking stacked with everything you can think of, and I was like, okay, what if he's a fucking recovering junkie that doesn't work? How does he have like the pinball machine? How does he have like the loft apartment? What is going on?
Well, the way they had his place framed was like slightly darker or something like that. I kind of had the idea like maybe he was her dealer too. Like he's like, I don't do drugs, but it doesn't mean you can't, honey.
Yeah. So they end up doing the thing. They go down to the docks, decide to do some life-altering shit, break into this container. There's another container inside of it. Break into that. There's a safe inside of that. Let's very easily break into that safe. There's another box. What's in the box? It's a box.
Yeah, it's probably the world's worst like babushka doll kind of setup because it's just like progressively smaller containers.
Mm-hmm.
And like seeing the safe in the container kind of made me laugh because you're just like, what is this? An objective for ants? You know, just there.
Yeah, like, to me, if I see that, if I've broken into a shipping container and I see just a safe, a lone safe, and I know, like, I'm not supposed to be there, this is after hours, this is probably 2 a.m., I'm guessing, I'm just finding a way to get that safe in the vehicle, and I'm leaving. I'm not trying to, like, put any fingerprints on anything. I'm not trying to break into it there, cause a ruckus. Let's just get it and get out. I know the safe is heavy, but you probably brought a dolly, right?
Anyways, they start blasting.
But, like, no, Chandler was kind of right. Like, even the guy, or her boyfriend had the same idea. Like, the entire time, he was kind of, like, railroading her to, like, pick it up herself and bring it with it. Because, like, he wanted nothing to do with it, but also wanted everything to do with it.
Yeah, so they find the box, and it's the box. If you've seen the Hellraiser, any of the Hellraiser series, it's the box. And it's just like, what the fuck is this? Some kind of puzzle or something? It don't matter. Let's take it. We can sell it or something.
They have this box, and throughout, of course, mayhem ensues with the box. But every time something happens with the box, the boyfriend's like, yo, get fucking rid of the box. Like, throw it in the fucking river, give it to a hobo, anything. Just get rid of the goddamn thing. Please stop. No box. Please, no box. Box, no box.
And I know the movie, spoilers, has, like, a little twist with his character later on. But, like, that did catch me kind of off guard. Like, why would he go out of his way to make her do this? And then for, like, the middle third and then some of the movie, he's like, honey, let's not do what we just did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, if we haven't mentioned it, this is going to be absolutely chock full of spoilers. If you haven't seen it yet, just go see it, then come back and listen to this, because you're not going to have a good time, because it's all kinds of spoilers. Everything's a spoiler.
Now we have the box. With the box, they celebrate. Old girl decides to get some drinks. She's not supposed to be drinking. She's a recovering alcoholic. She comes home. The brother's worried. And we get literally one of the best acted scenes I've seen in a movie in a long fucking time. How organic and real this feels is insane.
Yeah. No, absolutely, you're right. Like, anybody who has had like an incredibly heated family argument, this is it. Like, them yelling at each other and just basically having enough of each other and then proceeding to wash their hands of each other was pretty brilliant.
I think the most heated argument that I've ever had with my sibling was over how much sugar to put in sweet tea. And this was about on the same level, TBH, so yeah.
That's so Southern. For some reason, like, it's an argument over how much gravy's on them biscuits.
No, I don't think anybody's arguing over that. The answer is all of the gravy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Truth.
So she does leave. She takes her bag and she starts to get in her car and is just like, I'm going to punch my mirror off or something, and then I'm just going to go to this playground and pass out.
And, like, to be honest, when she kicked the driver's side mirror off her car, it actually kind of, like, stunned me. I'm like, ma'am, that is an extremely important device on your car in traffic.
That's not going to pass inspection.
Exactly. She already has it hard enough. Damn.
Now, this is where we get into the meat of the box lore. So she's over there and she's like, what do? I stick my finger in the box? And the box is like, yeah, stick your finger in me. And when she does, this little blade comes out. And it almost gets her. She's like, shit. But then she gets all woozy from drugs that she took, which she does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to lay down and just chill and enjoy this high. And she's spinning around on a merry-go-round. And we get a glimpse of one of the Cenobites, this hell priest, just for like a brief moment. And it's such a good little, ooh. And like I'm telling you, the first hour of this movie, man, they do such a good fucking job. The brother arrives, and he ends up cutting himself on this box's blade. And it begins.
Goodness.
Yes.
The way that happened was just so clumsy for some reason. Like, I just wasn't vibing with it. So, like you said, he does run up, so happen to find her in the park where she passed out. He finds the box in her hand, so on and so forth. But it's pretty clear that, like, the box has, like, a little wiener knife or whatever, and he just goes and just, like, grabs it just irresponsibly, and he's like, geez, man, that stabbed right through my hand, but I guess, I'm not going to freak out about it or nothing.
That blade is like 3-4 inches long, and it just punches right through him. He has like what appears to be a bullet wound at that point in his hand, and he's like, I'm gonna go rinse it off.
To be fair, he does think that she is past it, like ODing. So he's just like trying to get her to wake up and all this stuff, like patting her on the face, just like he's alarmed. And once she finally sort of comes to, that's when he's like, all right, now I've got to go take care of this. I'm going to go into this bathroom that definitely in reality would not be unlocked because it would be full of junkies just like her.
No, in reality, Candyman come out and chop his wiener off.
Dude, yes. So I'm watching this, and he goes in the bathroom, lights kind of flicker. You don't get to see anything besides like some shifting of the walls, which, again, there are moments in this movie that are brilliant. Some of the cinematography is absolutely breathtaking, and I will give that credit over the 87 version, but not in the sense of it's really better. It's just they had more to work with nowadays. And man, you go, oh, that's fucking cool, because whenever the Cenobites used to come, you would get like the blue light in between the boards and shit like that to let you know that something supernatural was occurring. Now they have like this shimmer of water reflection light, and that's so damn neat.
What I get is, rather than that, I get like it's like a tilt shift or something along those lines. I don't know photography terms, but it's like suddenly the perspective changes and everything from the background comes so much further to the foreground.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to describe exactly what it is, but you can tell something weird is going on.
Yeah, that's a contra zoom, or in reverse. It's also called the Hitchcock zoom. It's kind of like that thing when you have a scene where a character realizes he's fucked, and like the space behind him kind of stretches, even though he's kind of still in the foreground.
Oh, are you talking about like in Jaws when it pans up right into what's his name's face?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that's what we're getting here. It looks really cool to me. I like it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And we hear a scream. The sister's like, I'm a druggie, and she goes into the bathroom. There's a little bit of blood, and the brother's gone. The stage has been set.
I did like that brief moment when, like, they call the cops and everything, and there's clearly a scene, maybe a crime happened. His blood is all over the sink, and they're just like, yeah, it's just a little bit of blood in the sink. I don't know what you can do for you, peace.
We're gonna need you to explain what this is, and holds up the box, and she's just like, I don't fucking know.
All right, ship shape, free to go.
All right, well, call us if you think of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I was laughing pretty good at the fact that for just a moment, the calmness is unsettling. Like, she's like, I don't remember. Number one, you want to punch her in the fucking mouth immediately. You just want to nail her. You're just like, bitch. And the boyfriend, fiance, and the roommate are just so eerily calm. Well, that's not like your brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not. She literally said there's blood in there, and now he's gone, and y'all are chill as fuck.
I think especially with his, like, boyfriend or whatever, it's that moment before the shock. hits in.
Yes.
Because he was just like, that's kind of weird. You not know anything, because like he gets progressively more aggressive, and I
Yeah, he
really
does.
like how he finally amped into like that moment where he doesn't know if she's responsible directly or anything like that, but like she's the only thing that has any connection to whatever happened to him.
Yeah, it's like, to begin with, he doesn't know that the blood is his or anything like that. It just like comes to her, oh, he cut his hand, and that's why he went into the bathroom, and then he disappeared. Up to that point, it's just like, oh, well, where did he go? Did he wander off somewhere else? He just said, to hell with you. But then it's like, all right, he's cut, he's bleeding. What is going on?
Yeah, and that's what makes this build so good. Once again, they're doing this great like build of anticipation. You get to see this real world evolution of natural raw emotion. And I went, fuck, they're doing such a good job.
And I agree, absolutely, because like this kind of devolves, right? So she feels like she's going nuts. She starts to have all these visions. She starts to do like an investigation kind of thing, despite her boyfriend just being like, "Nuh-uh, forget about it. What's done, it's done. We're moving to Vegas," right? Which is whatever.
And she wants to definitely find out more. She does a little bit of sleuthing around via the internet, finds out the box was owned by a Voight character. And the closest person that she can find related to this Voight character is currently staying in a nursing home or a hospice because she's dying.
Yeah.
I like how she goes from being like a junkie waitress to being Aaron fucking Brockovich overnight.
Oh, yeah. She just kind of does, right? And
Yeah.
they do find that lady at the hospice thing, and it turns out to be the main guy's lawyer, like the rich guy's lawyer.
The cougar with a martini that starts everything rolling.
Yeah, so like he was kind of her handler back in the day, and I guess she's trying to make peace because she's dying. And I love how she tries every opportunity, like her boyfriend, to be like, enough is enough. Just stop, press the brakes, be done. Mourn your brother. I get it. It sucks, but he's gone. You're going to be gone. Please stop. And then she's like, nah, I'm good.
She's like, you should just give that to me. Give me the box. Give me the box. Just give me the box. And they're like tussling over it, which is fucking stupid. You know what it does.
100%.
So they twist it around. Oh, it goes to the next stage. Oh, you're both fucking dumb.
It's a moment where I was just like, why'd you have to bop it? And then like the fucking old lady gets got, and I was just like, man, I don't feel bad, but I don't feel like she deserves it. Like this is clearly the girl's fault. I'm just like, she's the reason why these people are getting hurt.
Yep, 100%. She's the villain of this movie, and that to me, the big payoff at the end, kind of makes sense if I was more invested in the character. But we get to see the Cenobites, and he just like ignores the lady who's been marked to go look at this other guy who's like wheezing and dying. And I was like, oh, that's a very interesting take. Like he's on Earth for X amount of time, so he's going to go and look at this other suffering before he does his job.
He's like, how can I add this to my catalog of murder?
Yes.
And torture. Gotta torture him a little bit too, otherwise you don't get off.
He's just taking notes. Okay, next time I can try tuberculosis. All right.
Tuberculosis.
We've mentioned the Cenobites popping up a little bit here or there, and again, across the board, aside from the Chatterer, I think the current Cenobites look better, just across the board, than the 87 one. The Chatterer is just like, I've just got a soft spot for the original one. He just looks so something, but like everyone else is just strict upgrades to me, including Pinhead. Like there's just something about the new look. It just looks more evil, more like from an actual like demon dimension rather than like a guy that went to a convention. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but
no, I'm on the same page. I think we all are, because like I feel like the makeup in this movie is phenomenal, but there's a pretty big detriment. Like I love how this movie looks sometimes. Like the DP did a wonderful job. And for some reason, there's this like weird problem with the lighting, especially like later on in the movie, where like there's no longer mystique when they're on film, if that makes sense. Like you see a Cenobite, and that's just the whole last Cenobite. There it is. All right.
The issue with these ones is you get probably 3 or 4 shots of them in dim lighting, and they look phenomenal. The scene where they kill one of the characters and they come out in this labyrinthine area and you get your first big view of Pinhead and the other Cenobites, you go, wow, they look great. I'm super on board. The problem is, right after that scene, they decide that they're going to show you everything and hit them with the brights, and there's no way to save that.
Just for what it's worth, I never had an issue with like any of the lighting or anything like that. I just thought universally across the board, anytime they were on, I was like, man, they look fucking cool.
Nah, like when they hit him with them brights, it looks pretty bad. Like, I enjoyed the practical effects part of it, but you can't hit them with the fucking bright lights, and they do, and you see everything. You can see, basically, if you know what you're looking for, you can see where pieces connect, and it's not friendly.
If I had a harsh criticism about this movie, it would be that this movie is afraid to be really dark, like lighting wise. Like, I don't really care if there were shots of the Cenobites in almost complete darkness. I just kind of like wanted that harmony between light and dark.
Speaking of harmony, I've got a harmony engine right here. This is a 5.5% alcohol by volume. This is a Martzen Fest beer from Modern Times out of San Diego, California. It smells nice and bready and crisp, just like what you want a Martzen to smell like. It's super well balanced, nice bready, a little toasty, a little malty sweetness, but not too sweet at all. This wouldn't be like what I consider a sweet Martzen. There's just a touch there. I mean, honestly, this is exactly what you want in a Martzen and Oktoberfest style beer. This just hits the spot, man. Something I could drink about 6 of. And speaking of drinking 6 bitches.
Yeah, I didn't know how to like transfer. I was like,
Speaking of 6 of them, that's about how many people they end up killing with this fucking box.
It's pretty rough, right? Because like, I know she's getting like, at this point, just like all her sleuthiness in. She winds up at the rich guy's house who's like supposedly dead or at least disappeared. She gets to this place, and I will give this movie absolute credit. When it looks good, it looks great. And I don't know if it's got to be a set. It looks fantastic. But like, the mansion is completely covered in this iron cage, which mimics the pattern on the puzzle box. I was like, this is a fucking creepy liminal look, and I'm digging it.
Yeah, it is. It's like a lattice that forms all around, completely around it, and she just has to find like one little hole that lines up with a window that she can slip in.
Yeah, like a puzzle you would find in like Zelda or Assassin's Creed.
As she fiddles around, she finds basically the homage to the second film of the Doctor's Notebook, and she starts to piece all the pieces together. Yeah. And she's like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And this is what confused me, is she had to break in. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly, while she's having this hallucination of her brother, much like in the first movie where they see Frank and he's like, help me, I'm in hell, which is a pretty decent scene, we're still, to me, in the good section of the movie. And I'm like, wow, things are happening. I'm on board. And then everyone shows up. Like, literally, everyone shows up. The boyfriend, yes. The +1 random character. And then we have the fiance of the brother. They all just arrive. And they're like, well, how'd you get in? The door was open. Okay.
I think, okay, spoilers, I guess. We do find out, like, the rich guy is still alive, so I figured that was his dirty work. Like, after it kind of got revealed that he's still poking around doing some stuff, you know, I figured it was him.
Just being a walking human gearbox?
Yeah, absolutely. Oof.
But
I mean, it looks good, but, like, yeah, I get it.
But one thing you mentioned that I do kind of want to talk about, we get a little bit of a deep dive in the lore of what this box is, what it does, which is completely missing from the original Hellraiser. At least I haven't seen any of the ones past 1, but the OG Hellraiser just does nothing to explain this. At least here we get a breakdown of like the cycles and everything. And I think that's really cool. We get more of a world building experience with this than we had previously gotten.
I absolutely understand that, but what kind of irked me about this one, not to say it was bad, is that, like, as the box is going through its transition, you know, you do get the inkling, like, it's kind of seeking out its next victim, like, its next sacrifice or whatever, but we do kind of, I feel like it gets to a point where, like, they kind of fudge it a little bit, you know, like, the Cenobites start to be a little bit more tricky than they should be.
I feel like they don't care, and that's, like, detached, I suppose, and I guess that's a new take on it. I was super into the idea that the box with all these different, I think there were 10 different configurations. Each one had a different name. And I was like, oh man, you basically had to find the fetishist whose fetish is that thing. Like, they had the one for Sensation, who is Voight. And that was his big fetish. And so he got his prize, which was the gearbox in his chest, which was fucking weird.
Well, don't you think it's kind of tricky? Because, like, in the first one, like, they took the whole, like, sexual thing to the next level. So, like, he wanted pleasure. That's what he thought his sensation was. Don't you think it's more of like a wish mastery kind of move to be like, oh, I want sensation, but not give him pleasure until it hurts, but like just give him pain flat out?
No, that was the monkey paw of the first one. Like, they took his fucking flesh, they threw him down in hell and were torturing. Because to them, pain and pleasure are the same, and that's basically what they were doing to dude with the gearbox in his chest. Is as soon as he would get used to it, it pulls a new nerve to bring pain back. And then he would get the release of it not pulling on one to give him the pleasure. And then it would just keep that endless cycle going.
It's pretty fucking brutal, to be honest.
It's the same kind of feeling like if anybody's seen 127 Hours, like when James Franco starts to cut through his tendons and stuff, you get that like wincy guitar sound. That's what that is.
Rumor has it, that's how... I don't know what I was going to say there, never mind.
Well, let's explore that a little bit. So, like, everybody's at the house, and things start to get a little funky with the Cenobites running around. One gets, like, stuck in a door, and it's hilarious. So what was the moment that the movie kind of, like, went off the rails for you?
Here, once we're at the house, we get this offshoot of Mr. Man hiding in the walls, Roach, and he's running around, and he kills the +1 with the box. He stabs her in the back with it. And if that's all you have to do is solve the puzzle box and poke somebody, then all of this movie happened for nothing. But what I'm saying is, like, he pokes her in the back, and we get a Nightmare on Elm Street treat as they're trying to escape in this van, and they can't because the roads keep basically flipping. So they're trapped there. The Cenobites are using their powers. The +1 character is basically pulled into this labyrinth from hell. And we get the Cenobites, and they step out, and fuck, they look so good. They look so good. And Pinhead comes out, and they've got the Hell Priest character lit amazingly.
Yes.
So cool.
There's some lines delivered, and you go, this is what's up. The hooks come out. They turn the character. They rip the flesh. You go, yes. And then as soon as they go back to the fucking house, it just turns into a shitty monster movie, and it broke my fucking heart.
It does kind of lead into, like, the 13 Ghosts kind of thing, where, like, all the Cenobites show up, fully lit. You can just see them walking around, just Tokyo City like a big playground.
Like, I did like even this part of the movie, which I admit is the lowest part of the movie, but even this I did like. But I got a lot of 13 Ghost vibes. Let's be real. This movie borrows from a lot of different places. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But you mentioned the Nightmare on Elm Street, Stranger Things with the whole upside down-ish kind of thing.
I just thought it was kind of odd given... Like, I know, like, the Cenobites have to move around. I get it. You know, they're bipedal or whatever, they're people. But
No, I say I'm bilingual, there's a difference.
I just thought it was really weird, kind of odd, like, at their placement, because they're just, like, walking around at a pace that where, like, they're not really alarming, so, like, they're running around them kind of like you would the zombies in Resident Evil.
Yeah. It's like a Halloween horror night, and they're not allowed to touch the customer.
Yeah, but a disappointment kind of peaked, because, like I mentioned, there was a Cenobite trapped in a doorway, and, you know, the main character kind of has to go through this area again, so there's, like, this really unintentionally hilarious moment where she has to crawl through the legs of the Cenobite, and it's just, like, dangling there like FDR's legs.
Oh,
Dude, it's a rough scene, and what kills me is these aren't just ignorant monsters. They can talk, they have language, they have thought, they have desires, pain, pleasure, you know, all these things. Yeah. And this fucking thing is just generic, I run, ignorant monster. Chatterer gets fucking killed by one of the people with the fucking box itself, and Pinhead's like, yeah, I guess you lose.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty clever, to be honest. Like, they understood the rules, and they were just like, Uno reverse card, and then even Pinhead was just like, you know what? All right. You got me. Well, he got, but you got me.
I love the little smirk that the Pinhead gives when that happens too. Like, First of all, the Chatterer is my favorite of the Cenobites, going back to the first one. But when that happens, when he gets got, and you get that little smirk, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, it's like a subversion of expectation that didn't suck dick. You know, you weren't pissed off by it. It's like, all right.
I mean, I'll give it to you, because even Chatterer kind of walks out there and throws his hands up like, yeah, you got me. Oops. But then it just gets so ridiculous because they start to tell the people basically what they want. Hey, we ain't got to kill you. We can kill somebody else. We're cool with that. We just want to kill somebody. So whatever you want to do, let's do it. And I was thinking, why is any of this even happening then?
That was the worst part of the movie for me, because once they revealed like anybody could pay this price and you could still like get to the next level, like getting closer to your wish, I was like, why didn't they just take this out on anybody? Like maybe like there's like a homeless man like you'd mentioned before the cast, or just be super fucking aggressive and just start stabbing other Cenobites. Some of these fuckers are so slow.
I think that was the plan, was to stab like another Cenobite, but they just couldn't get it. Like they only needed one more at that point, right?
They didn't even stab the one that they had trapped in the doorway.
Yeah, that was a mistake. They should have.
There were a lot of moments. I know movies got a movie, and we're supposed to let little things go. For me, the issue is the whole third act of this movie. The whole culmination of everything that we've built to was so... No, stop, quit. What are you doing? Are you fucking serious? That it broke my heart. That's the problem I had.
The little thing that got me on that note is, okay, so they're trying to escape. We talked about them driving away in the van, and then we talk about the roads flipping. There's just no end to this road. Where are we going? And then I don't even remember what happens, but shit happens. They got to stop. All right, and then the boyfriend decides, wait, we've got to go back because that's where Ryder is. Okay, well then come back and get it another day or something.
Yeah, the movie was teetering his allegiance, you know, like seemingly out of nowhere at that point. Like I know like he had to wind up being the rich guy's lackey for everything to work, but like it took a little too long for the quote unquote twist.
It's a twist that does. It's a twist that did not need to happen. Like I really enjoyed this movie, but that is a twist that did not need to happen at all.
Well, she got there on her own. She did it all on her own with him telling her not to.
Yeah, in spite of him.
Yeah.
Well, did you guys like how, like, when the rich guy finally gets what he wants and enough people get got by the box, and then he's awarded with his audience with the Cenobites and everything, and he's like, listen, guys, I wish for this, and I don't like it, but can I, like, you know, return it? And Pinhead's like, no, you don't have the receipt, exchange only.
Yes, dude. And I was like, can you, what? Hell's like, yeah, you can just exchange it. It's not a big deal. Like, come on.
You would be able to return it, except you bought it with Cole's cash.
Oh.
Not only that, but he was also eligible to exchange for, like, the most expensive wish, which is power. And she didn't really go into detail, like, what it was. And I'm still kind of, like, fishy on the whole thing, even though we do get, like, a little bit of an epilogue. But then aliens, probably French, come from the sky. They descend, and they just, like, they just throw this giant, like, anchor chain into him, and they just levitate him into space, I think.
Looks pretty fucking cool. When he's becoming a Cenobite, looks really cool.
I was into that piece because that piece was so fucking vibrant and weird that you just watch it and go, yeah, this is like a Tool video. I'm into it, whatever. And the big moment for, I guess, our Kirsty is she's like, oh, well, I don't want a gift. And Pinhead goes, oh, well, that's a gift too. It's called lament. You killed all these people for nothing. Now you gotta lament that. Catch you on the flip.
Yeah, but like it's such a whatever kind of thing. Because it's like she could totally, and even I could probably totally just be like, you know, that was close. I'm not going to think of that ever again.
Exactly. Like you can just move on with your life. Yes, your brother died. That had, like, she's going to have a couple years of shitty life, understandably, and then she's going to just get over it, or she's going to relapse and not give a fuck anyways.
Or maybe that's the sequel. She relapses, and that becomes the folly of the second one. And they finally go through, like, the whole sin-suffering thing.
I like where you're going with this.
So it takes until Hellraiser 2 to become Hellraiser 1. Nice.
13 Ghostesses. Starring the Cenobites. Oh, it's Dead by Daylight with fucking Cenobites.
Like, it did give me vibes of 13 Ghosts for sure, but without a question, this was better than 13 Ghosts, right?
There was no Shaggy in this one, so I don't know.
13 Ghosts is one of those guilty pleasure movies. You can throw that on and just smile throughout. This has that moment of like, yes, movie, you guys are doing something, and then they just change gears completely, and you went, I don't know why you decided to do that.
I'll give it more credit than that. I liked it. I think this movie is just misguided. Like, the main character that we got shouldn't have been the main character. To be more in key, I guess, with the original, I feel like we could have followed the story of the rich guy to begin with, because he's literally getting his comeuppance for all the shit that he did, and like exploring his vices to the extreme. I kind of feel like that's what this movie is supposed to be geared like, you know. Other than that, I would recommend it because like it doesn't do anything to kind of like ruin Hellraiser or anything. Like it definitely has the balls to do its own thing. I just feel like, and I feel like you guys agree, that the third act is just much flatter than it needs to be.
I do agree that the third act is the weakest of the three. I don't think that it detracts enough from the first two acts, though, which are really freaking cool, to make this like an unenjoyable movie altogether. But it's tough to talk about this in an absolute vacuum without talking about the original Hellraiser. And just honestly, I'll repeat it again. I think this movie is better in every way. The script is better, the characters are better, the acting is a lot better, the visual effects are amazing. The world building especially is what was lacking from the first one, and you actually have a little bit of this here. Honestly, I'm really excited if they want to put out a Hellraiser 2 as a sequel to this.
Well, there you have it. That was Hellraiser, specifically from 2022. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash that little bell icon down there, too, so you don't miss what we have brewing up next.
Follow us on social media. We got that Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit. You can find us anywhere. Podcasts are available. Give us a shot. You'd be surprised. We have such sights to show you.
If you didn't say that, I was going to.
Yeah, I had something brewing up too.
Hell yeah.